Hello to everyone who's watching Fight Room interviews. I'm sending my regards from beautiful Manchester, England, as you can see, and wish everyone all the best.
So we are joined by Mr. Tom Aspinall, the UFC heavyweight champ.
Hello.
You train in multiple gyms. I was at another gym today, but now we are at a completely different one. Why do you train in multiple gyms?
Which gym were you at today?
At St. Helens.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's quite, yeah. A few different reasons, really. So the gym where you were today, it's a big, like, matted area. So if we got more guys there, that's where we're going. But the issue is I'm more in the public eye now than I used to be, and people like show up, basically, stuff to sign. Sometimes people are recording stuff. So when we're doing more technical stuff, like we were today, we like to keep it more private. So we train at a few different places and do a few different things with different places. Also, my dad's my coach. Me and my dad have been training together since I was 8 years old. And we just like to mix it up. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to be in just one gym doing one thing with the same people every single day. So we like mixing it up as well.
Yeah, I was just, I attended your training today, and it was very kind of technical and quite cool, I have to add. But your dad, the phrase like to whip somebody into submission, your dad used like some sort of like a little tree branch in order to train your reflexes, didn't he?
Jedi mind stuff. Yeah, we've done some crazy training over the years, yeah. I mean, today is a little bit of an easier day, like you say, it's more technical. Today is Wednesday. So on Monday we did like we had more training partners here, so we did like some really hard grappling rounds on Monday. Tuesday we sparred hard, 10 rounds. So today's like more of a technical day, but yeah, my dad did all kinds of weird training techniques. We still do that kind of stuff. We still do like weird, like if I had a camera on me for the full time, people would be looking and thinking, what are these two idiots doing? But it works, well, it works for me at least, it works for me. I'm not saying it works for everybody. MMA is like a very subjective individual sport. What works for me doesn't necessarily work for the next guy, but it's obviously working pretty good for me.
Yes, it obviously is, because you're basically in a pretty rare situation, as you will probably fight the greatest of all time, or the GOAT. Not a lot of people can actually say that.
Yeah. Well, I can't say it yet. We're still working on that. We're still working on it. Bit of a strange time for me at the moment. Like usually, finish the fight, and then it's like, right, the next fight, we're talking about opponents, we're talking about dates. Boom, that's where we go. This time, the opponent's clear who it's got to be, but the date isn't, and then the opponent's like talking about retiring and all that kind of stuff. So we're still talking about it with the UFC and stuff. So we're just waiting at the moment.
I believe that everybody who follows MMA saw that video where you kind of met him, right?
Yeah.
And all of that stuff. But I was thinking, like, how much thought do you need to kind of put in order to call out the GOAT? I mean, with your approach, you can kind of say you suck as a fighter, you know, and then he can get angry because he's the greatest of all time, you know. So how do you like approach, you know, how do you kind of make his spidey sense tingle, you know?
I don't know. I feel like my work speaks for itself. For me, it's not really about fighting the GOAT. I don't really care about that. I care about the undisputed heavyweight title. It doesn't really matter to me if it's John or not. What I care about is you know, the undisputed title. I'm not really bothered if it's John or not. If John retires, that's fine. I'll fight somebody else. I'm easy. But as long as it's for the belt, I don't really care.
Yeah, you're a pretty tall individual, and you're very strong. But on the other hand, Jones is actually not a natural heavyweight.
Yeah.
So do you think that's going to kind of pose a threat? Because you're used to kind of fighting big burly men, and Jones is kind of more lanky, more technical. So do you think that's going to pose a problem for you?
No, I think he's the best, one of the best fighters of all time. So I don't think size matters as much with someone like him, for example. I think he's so technical, so skilled that it doesn't really matter.
Mm. Isn't it ironic that you're a kind of a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and you're basically just sending people into the shadow realm? So you had like 1 million hours of training, and your complete fight time is 10 minutes.
Good. Like if I can retire without taking any damage, that is the ultimate goal. Like if I can if I can have 2, 3, 4, however many more fights I'm going to do and keep doing the same thing, I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to do it.
But that ratio is kind of pretty uncommon if you're on the winning side. Normally, that ratio is on the losing side. You know, people like journeymen get in and they quickly kind of get out of the sport, but you're a completely different animal.
Good, good. We'll keep it that way.
So you lived in Atherton, which is close to here, basically your whole life, in the greater Manchester area, a city historically known for producing nails. Does that have anything to do with you being tough as nails?
Yeah. I think it does. Yep, I like that. I didn't even know that, to be honest, but I like where you're going with that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to give the answer is yes, definitely.
Okay. So recently you had a couple of very tiny creations in your gym, very small people, you know. And how was it? How was it to like train with them? And how is it to train with them right now?
Great, great, absolutely great guys. Like this is maybe the 3rd or 4th time I've trained with Ante actually. Really, really like him as a person, first of all. But also, I think like the world needs to know about him sooner or later because the guy is an absolute beast. And the thing with Ante is like, he has the mentality as well as the skills. Like a lot of big guys, it gets hard and they want to quit. Whereas Ante is the opposite. Like he is going and going and going like until the death. So that's the kind of training I like. And Martin, I've only been training for a couple of weeks, but I really like him. Like he's got a good skill set. Very athletic for a big guy as well. Technical. Yeah, both great training partners, great guys as well.
Maybe like a week ago, you had a very interesting rash guard on, you know, that that Creations fan might like.
Love it, love it. Yeah. As soon as, so when Ante returned, like the first day he came, he had the same rash guard on. And I was like, get me one of them, please. And the day later he came with the rash guard. Yeah, love it, absolutely love it.
That's so cool. Okay, so I've been doing these interviews for around 5 or 6 years, and I was dying laughing in the interview with Nina Drama, of course. And I just wanted to congratulate you for the best retort of all time in MMA. And keep in mind that the competition is pretty fierce with My Balls Was Hot by Derek Lewis. So, and of course, Joe's retort to that was, I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you said that you dip your knuckles in gasoline in order to make them harder, and that's like an old gypsy technique. Is that true? Like,
that's true. That's true.
Do knuckles get harder if you dip them in premium gasoline?
I don't like to spend money too much, so I do it the cheapest way possible. Do you know what I mean? I'm just, any that I can get my hands on, they're going in, soaking it. Yeah. So I don't actually know. I don't know what kind of like gasoline it is, but any that I can get, that's what I'm using.
If you could like rub your ribs with gasoline, would you do that as well?
I'm already doing it. I'm doing like, you know, people do an ice bath. I'm doing that, but in gas. Gas. To the neck, yeah, everything.
That kind of, you weren't doing that when you had the fight with Pavlovich. So how did you pull off that? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. That was definitely the craziest fight in my career, because usually like when I'm training for a fight, I'm like super focused. Everything is like in. And in that particular time, I just was so far away from that. Took the fight on 2 weeks' notice, injured, wasn't training properly and everything. But it's heavyweight MMA, do you know what I mean? Like one shot can change literally everything. In MMA in general, now you put two guys in 120 kilos, then
something's going to break.
Something's going to break, yeah.
What do you think of the heavyweight division in the UFC now? Like, do you feel that it's kind of a little bit neglected because champs kind of don't rule as much in other categories, weight categories, like in the heavyweight? You know, like the most amount of days people kind of own the belt. That happens only in heavyweight. Yeah. So because of all the drama that basically went all the way back from like DC, you know, it was the heavyweight title kind of very rarely changed its owner. So to me, like because of the whole kind of, it was crowded on top, then I believe like the bottom was kind of neglected. Yeah,
definitely. I think, yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think that the heavyweight division, first of all, needs a lot more excitement. It needs more characters, people who can speak better. It needs people with more exciting styles. It needs people who are more active. It's very difficult to be active at the moment though with what's going on with John and stuff. It's just like on hold. But like, for example, this weekend coming up in a few days, we have Rosenstruck versus Pavlovich, like two top 10 guys fighting each other. And like, nobody's even talking about it. You know what I mean? And then, for example, my training partner, Mick Parkin, who's in the top 15, he's fighting Tibora, who's in the top 10 in the UFC London. And like, they're on the prelims so far. And like, just stuff like that. And it's like,
where's the glory?
Yeah, well, there's no glory there. Exactly. We need more in the heavyweight division. We've got guys there who are good, who are youngish as well, who are like early 30s, late 20s. But we just need more eyes on the heavyweight division. So, and any fights, any finishes are good for all of us. Like, it builds us all up, and we just need more of that. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe we need some walking trouble as well.
Yeah, we're pushing for it. We're pushing for it, and I think we can get there. I think we can get there with him.
Well, once you basically get the belt, and I believe that you will, who do you want to fight in the division? Like, who are you going to fight?
Oh, well, whoever's the #1 contender. I've never, ever been picky with my opponents. Never. Honestly, you can ask anybody who works for the UFC, anybody who works for any other organizations I've fought on. Never once have I been picky. This is the only time I'm saying I'm not fighting until it's for the undisputed belt. I'm not bothered who it's against, where it is, when it is, I don't care. It has to be for the undisputed belt though, that's my only thing. And when I get that, I'll be the same moving forward. It'll be like, whoever's next, I'll fight them, I don't care.
I was just in Ireland and the cab drivers that I spoke with, you know, like kind of are divided when it comes to Conor McGregor. They admire him as kind of like a businessman, as a fighter, but they don't like the whole kind of, you know, madness that goes around, that goes with him, probably. And the most thing that they kind of say, like the worst thing that they say about him is like that he's not a good role model for the youth. Mm-hmm. And they said the same thing about Jon Jones as well.
Yeah.
But you are.
Well, I have my bad moments as well. Yeah. I'm not the perfect human being. Let's not go there. I never see myself as like a role model or anything. I'm just being myself. That's all. I'm not trying to. I mean, if I can inspire kids and whatever along the way, that's amazing. But that's not my goal. My goal is just to enjoy myself, do my stuff, make as much money as I can, get as much glory as I can, and enjoy myself along the way. I'm not trying to be some perfect human being for everyone to aspire to be. I just want to be myself.
That being said, if you beat the greatest of all time, then what does that make you?
Well, it just makes me heavyweight champion, which is fantastic. That's all. Honestly, that is all I care about. I just want to be the undisputed champion. That's it.
Well, all the luck in the upcoming fights, and I'm looking forward to new goats.
Thank you. Thanks. I don't know about the goat, but heavyweight champion for sure. I appreciate it. Hello to everyone who's watching Fight Room interviews. I'm sending my regards from beautiful Manchester, England, as you can see, and wish everyone all the best.